This video is specifically for my friend Adam because we were talking about this subject of gerim being like newborn children when they convert. So I wanted to show some of the sources and how I linked this all together and show how it's actually related to Jethro, to Yitro, the father-in-law of Moses. So we'll begin at Genesis 21, and she added, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would suckle children? Yet I have borne a son in his old age." She's talking about how they're both very old and barren, and we're not able to have children. So there's one hint already in this verse of Cainite or Jethro. Zakani is elder or old, and it has like cain in it. But even better than that is here, ha-caini, the cainite, is spelled backwards in this verse. Now that's interesting on its own, but we'll see how this is related to sources on Abraham and Sarah. So we have ha-caini. Who is ha-caini? Who is the cainite? It's Yitro, as we see here. And then from Bilam's prophecy to the cainite, he saw the cainite. This is a reference to Jethro or Yitro. And of course, caini is one of Jethro's 7 names. And we have, as we said in an earlier video, ha-caini here spelled backwards. This is a reference in part to the fact that Yitro did a 180-degree turn by turning to monotheism and or Judaism. But here's how it all relates to Abraham and Sarah. Listen closely. Moreover, Yitro was a convert or a ger, and gerim come from the sanctified marital relations of the tzaddikim, as it is written Genesis 12:5, and the souls which they made in Haran. And it is brought, during the time that Abraham and Sarah were barren, their marital relations bore the souls of converts. Therefore, Yitro, who was a convert or ger, and so came from the sanctity of the marital relations of tzaddikim, knew the great value of their holiness, that by the virtue of their great holiness, their marital relations produce the souls of converts, and all the more so the holiness of their abstinence. So here we have a source saying Yitro came from the marital relations of Abraham and Sarah. So it makes sense, perhaps, that there are these hints of his being around here. And we know that we wouldn't even have the Torah if it wasn't for the relationship between Moshe and Yitro, and the fact that he said, "Now I know that Hashem is greater than all other gods." So here we have caini, zakani, and ha-caini, who is Jethro, backwards. Now, just in case anybody thinks I'm stretching it by saying or pointing out that this is ha-caini backwards for the word that means to suckle or nurse children, well, in the Zohar, or Tikkun Zohar, we have Cain's name right next to this word Yannick, which is to nursing or suckling. So here's Cain, and here's Caini, spelled backwards, right next to each other. And one more piece of evidence for anyone who has any doubts. Here's cainim backwards, so cainites. And who's the father of the cainites? It is Jethro. Now, if you take the value of this word, you'll find that it has the value 616, which is the exact same value as the name Yitro. And by the way, the portion of the Torah where we get the Torah on Sinai is called Yitro.